Hey Thrive Loud fans, wanted to give you a heads up for an upcoming episode on Thrive Loud. This Thursday, October 11th, we are featuring Ben Friedland. Ben serves as vice chairman and co-head of CBRE's Alternative Investment Practice, an industry-specific practice group focused on advising private equity firms, hedge funds, and other alternative investment companies on their real estate strategies across the globe. You'll learn how Ben and his team provide advisory services to firms in the alternative investment sector on real estate needs within their investment portfolio. We have a lot of listeners in the investment world that will truly value this conversation with Ben. It's a great interview, and listeners will get to learn from one of the top producers and experts in commercial real estate. So make sure to listen in this upcoming Thursday, October 11th, as I sit down and chat with Ben Friedland on Thrive Loud.
Today on Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond.
We're on a mission to help the next generation of women and girls to design the life and career that they love. And that's kind of our mantra and our mission.
You don't need to play it safe.
This was spectacular.
And I'm going to be really honest, so I hope you don't mind.
Yeah, that's what we want.
And there will be bumps in the road. There will be twists and turns.
You needed moxie on the floor and volume.
It's the results and the connections and the improvement, the impact we have on other people's life. And that's when life becomes exciting.
Who do you turn to personally to get back on the thriving track?
I was really interested in how the world works.
Thanks for the great introduction.
It was really very simple. I just read part of your bio. Be brief, be bright, be gone.
Get ready to thrive loud with Lou Diamond.
Welcome, everyone, to another episode of Thrive Loud with Lou Diamond, connecting you to the most inspiring and amazing people that are thriving each and every day. Today on Thrive Loud, we bring you an entrepreneur with a heart for giving back. She is passionate about helping girls design a life and careers they love. She is the CEO of My Social Canvas, a social impact fashion brand, which is about designs for women by women. She's a true change maker, and we're going to have a great conversation today. Thrive Loud fans, Lisa Mayer. Lisa, how are you today?
I'm great, Lou. Happy Friday. And thank you for having me today. I'm so thrilled and honored to be here.
It is great. And for those listening, if it's not Friday, we hope eventually it is at some point or another when you do listen. But we are recording on a Friday right before a big holiday weekend. And Lisa has a spectacular story. I love hearing entrepreneurs that not only have a great starting from nothing and moving up, because that is what Thrive Loud is all about, but appreciating the ride along the way and having a sense of giving back. So the Thrive Loud community wants to learn a little bit more about you, Lisa. And if I tell it, it's not nearly as interesting as coming from you. So why don't you take us on a little bit of a journey of how you got to what you're doing now, and I'll interject accordingly. Sound like a plan?
That sounds perfect, Lou. So yeah, I'll share a little bit of the story of My Social Canvas and just what brought me to this point with the company and how I got the idea. So as you said, you shared a little bit about how we're a social impact fashion company. So we started as a fashion brand, but we're so much more at the heart of it. Like you'd said earlier, we're on a mission to help the next generation of women and girls to design the life and career that they love. And that's kind of our mantra and our mission. So at the heart of it, at our core, how we drive revenue and grow as a business is through fashion and accessories and different lifestyle products that we'll sell. So we do sell products, but there's so much more to it. It's really a story. By each product, there's a woman or girl behind the design of that product. So each of our products features designs made by women and girls for women and girls. And then when we'll sell the products, we'll share their story, their name, a little bit about them, how they came up with that design, and then the cause that it's supporting. And we love to keep them at the heart of it. It's so much more than a story about our brand as it is about the story of these women behind each, design. So it's something so special to us. And we're so much more than fashion. It's about mentorship and helping these women and providing them with experiences in fashion and business and technology. And giving them the opportunity to meet amazing rock star role models in business and a variety of industries. So it's something that I'm so passionate about. I wake up every morning just loving my job, and not that there haven't been difficult days along the way and things that have been challenging in the journey, just like with any entrepreneur, anyone who's trying to start something, just like you've started Thrive Loud. I'm sure there were days that there was something that was difficult that happened or a setback and you had to work through it, but I wouldn't trade it for the world. I just love this company, and I love the community we have and getting to work directly with the women and girls in college and high school from all over the nation. So it's something that I truly, truly love.
So I want to rewind a little bit here. Help me understand where it all started. I heard this rumor that you had a moment in your career that you just had $7 in your own bank account. Can you talk to the Thrive Loud listeners and share a little bit about what your personal journey was to get to the point that you're at now?
Absolutely. So when I started the company, it was just something that was based on an idea to build a business that would give back. I was so inspired by companies like Tom's Shoes and Warby Parker and the Giving Keys. There's so many incredible brands. For those of you that aren't familiar with those companies, they all have a mission and they have something that is purpose-driven about their business. And, when I came up with the idea for My Social Canvas, I wanted to do something a little bit different, and I wanted to build it from scratch. So although, some mentors would tell you, go out and start a company and right from the get-go, get investors and get funding and go out and build it with unlimited resources and just, go big with it in the very beginning. I wanted to do it in a very organic fashion. So I just started it in my apartment in New York and, didn't have a lot of space, didn't have a large team to help and support the business to grow it. And, there were times that were very challenging. The moment that you mentioned to me that, I had shared with you about having $7 in the bank, I'm sure many entrepreneurs have faced that type of challenge as well. So there was a moment, actually, I remember that it was a moment where I had a very big week. I was actually invited to go to a state dinner at the White House. And it was the kids' state dinner. So at the time, the company was still in the early stages, and we were about to launch lunch bags at Whole Foods Market that would support kids, helping kids be able to eat healthy and concentrating on wellness. And it was just that time where we had opportunities to bring in revenue and we had orders coming in for the business. But when you start it, you're operating on cash flow and just, waiting for companies to pay you. And, sometimes that takes a little bit longer. And so there were times when it was very difficult financially. And I remember that day when I looked down, I was about to go in and buy myself a Metro card and hop on the subway, which, could be something very standard to do and to commute here in New York City. And I looked down and I looked at my screen on my phone and I saw that I only had $7 in my bank account. And while that could be something that's so discouraging, and I could say, I should just give up on this, it's so hard. Why did I start a business? Instead, what I did is I took a screenshot on my phone of that $7 in the bank moment. Mm-hmm. And you can see my bank, and it said $7. And I kept that screenshot and I actually just saved it in my phone to remind myself that I couldn't give up. And now I look back on it and it reminds me that whatever I'm going through, anything that's hard, I can get through it because now I have more than $7 in the bank, which I'm excited to say. And I love to use that story because I couldn't even buy myself a weekly Metro card that day. I had to walk to some of my meetings in New York, and there are so many other people that are less fortunate than me around the world. So by no means am I saying that I had no resources or no support, because I have always been so grateful. But from that, I've learned that you need to focus on what you do have. So I still had $7 in the bank that day. I had to focus on what I did have, the opportunities I had, the resources that I did have, and just use that to motivate myself and to keep going and not give up.
I love this. I love the spirit and the entrepreneurial power behind it. I want to understand something that's behind you, and that is, where does this philanthropic component of who you are come from? In Lisa Mayer, what did it start from a very early age, the wanting to give back? Because this seems to be something that's kind of maybe rooted in your DNA. Can you share with the Thrive Lab listeners, I guess, like from how early on in your life has this been something that you really recognize that helping others is a priority of yours?
Yeah, it's something that certainly my family instilled in me from an early age, but it was something that really started when I moved to New York. So I've lived in New York about 7 years now, and just seeing all the need that there is around me, walking down the street and seeing people that need things and need help and support. And when I started the company, I knew that I wanted to build a business that was generous. And I thought, that if I'm generous with my time and my resources, the money will always follow. And I've always heard incredible, inspiring role models of mine when I'm at events and just hearing people speak, talk about when you're generous and when you don't only focus on the money, the money will follow and success will follow, and you'll be able to grow that company or whatever you're trying to build. I heard Oprah speak actually at the White House Summit a few years ago. The Executive Council of Women and Girls that Michelle Obama had founded had hosted this Changemaker Summit, and incredible women from all over the nation were at this summit participating. And I remember being in the room with Oprah and hearing some of her story and hearing her speak about generosity and giving back and, trying to build something that makes a difference. And I know that was part of my inspiration as well. So, I would say it's definitely something that was instilled in me at an early age, but over the last few years, it's become something that I'm very passionate about.
I like it. And you can hear it in your voice and just the excitement that you have just about the brand and the excitement you talk about with My Social Canvas. Let's talk about My Social Canvas first, for a second, specifically digging into the business and these different ways that people can help and grow. Talk about, I guess, the organization itself and what it's like to be the leader of the company. Because obviously, look, having the entrepreneurial spirit and getting something started can start from one individual, but then growing it into an organization and managing that, how has that challenge been for you?
Yeah, it's something that certainly there are challenges, and some of them I've already discussed, but what we've done in building this company, and I have an amazing team. I have a COO, Laura, who's incredible. She's such a rock star, and she does an amazing job at executing on things and executing on my vision for this company and this brand. But aside from Laura and the rest of our team, we have thousands of inspiring college and high school women from all over the nation that really are the heart and soul of our company. They're a huge part of it. And they're telling our story on their campus, at their college or with their friends and their family. So that's a huge part of it. And they've been a large part of really driving our growth as a business and promoting our products, whether it be a shirt or a phone case or something else that we're launching at the time. And we're launching a new collection. They'll go out and even host events at their school. And, they're kind of the face to our company as well. So I had to mention them because they're a huge part of how we do business. And they're the reason that our company exists as well. So they're a huge part. Trying to think of other areas that might be interesting to share about the company. But what about it do you think is interesting? What caught your attention?
Great question, by the way. And I love when guests flip the script on me. It always makes me feel great. So I like the way this process works and how simple it is. And I think would be better coming from you. What I like is this 1, 2, 3 process that you have on actually how you get the next generation of women to basically design and set it up themselves, because you've really created an entrepreneurial endeavor with a giving back backbone behind it. Can you talk about the three steps and how people can actually get started with designing a life they love?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're always looking to bring on new college and high school women to our community. And like I said, they're the face of our company and they can get involved. I'll tell you one way that we actually bring on the new designs. Actually, I think this could be really interesting to hear. So one thing that we did last year is we hosted an event. We do a lot of events. We just did an event with Apple last month where we did some coding workshops and brought in some great speakers and role models. But one thing that we did is we did a competition. So we do design contests. And at the end of the contest, we'll award the winning students with either a scholarship or other type of prize to help them in their career and really help them design the life and career that they love. With this event, it was so exciting. It's one of my favorites. We hosted the event where we brought college women studying fashion, college women studying business, and then college women studying technology and computer science as well to come to our office. And then we gave them this business challenge, kind of like saying, they are the entrepreneurs here, almost like they're starting their own company.
Right.
So we said, we would love to see what type of phone case designs you can come up with. And then we shared with them that the winning phone cases will be launching at Verizon stores. So we hosted this contest. They even wrote up business plans on how to market and sell the phone cases. And then they designed a website and then designed their own phone cases. And at the end of the day, we also had a judge panel. So we had Zach Posen, who many of you might have heard. Yeah, he's amazing. So obviously, his gowns are just beautiful and iconic. They're all over the red carpet, but then he's a judge on Project Runway. And he's so giving and, generous with his time. And he just loves our mission. So he was one of our judges. And then at the end of the contest, we presented him all of our designs and he selected his favorite. And I can't disclose too much about the winning design, but I can tell you they will be launching later in September. So we're so excited. And then when we sell the designs, the part that I love is that the college women that created those phone case designs, they'll be selling nationwide at 1,500 stores, but you're going to see the photo of those women on the packaging for the phone cases. You'll see their name, and you'll get to know their story. So it's, like I said earlier, it's just as much about them as it is about our company.
I love the whole concept. The design hackathon, as you guys have hashtagged it, is just a great combination of that competition, empowering women, and on top of that, showing incredible creativity and featuring these winners and really highlighting a great moment for them as young entrepreneurs. So kudos to you, Lisa. This is really great stuff. And I think this is, I know our listeners are listening going, okay, I love that idea. How can I incorporate this into my own business? What I know I want to ask, which I ask just about every guest on the Thrive Loud program, is you personally, Lisa, when you, as this amazing entrepreneur with this great platform and such an incredible spirit, when you have trouble thriving, who or what practice do you turn to get back on the thriving track?
Yeah, that's a great question. And, I knew my answer right away when you started asking the question, because it's something I do every time. So when it's something that I'm going through that's challenging or hard or, and I need to get back on that to thrive, I look at actually other role models of mine and other people that might have gone through something that's challenging. And I use their story for inspiration. So as an example, when I had that $7 in the bank moment and I looked down at my phone and looked at my bank statement and it said $7, I actually started reading stories of other entrepreneurs and others in business or other industries as well that have had similar experiences. At that moment when I had the $7 in the bank, I knew that Chrissy Metz, actually, who's an actress on This Is Us, she plays Kate. Yeah. She actually only had 81 cents in her bank account when she went to audition for the part on This Is Us. And she could barely buy herself a tank of gas. And I know she lived in LA and she might have been worried actually that she might run out of gas on the way to the audition. But guess what? That didn't stop her. So she continued. She went to the audition. And then she got the part on This Is Us. And now, her acting career is taking off. But I love hearing those stories. I know, Oprah, early on in her career, she was fired from one of her positions in Baltimore when she first got into journalism. And there's so many other stories of, individuals that inspire me. And so I actually love to read other people's stories when I'm going through something that's challenging. And then I read their story and see where they're at now and comparing, their journey and just seeing that their journey was not always easy. It wasn't as glamorous as perhaps it looks right now on the outside, but they've gone through those challenges and they've made it through. They didn't give up. So that's how I get back on it. And I just get motivated and inspired and remind myself that I can face anything,
I think it's a perfect reflection of what My Social Canvas is also about too, and what you're empowering with all these young women entrepreneurs as well. So it's nice to see that you get inspired by those and you're helping to give back, which is bringing this whole thing full circle. Let's talk about something that's really exciting, and we'll lead it in before we talk about all the plugs. But as I understand it, you're launching a new podcast. You want to talk about $7 Dreams?
Yes, I am. And it won't only be a podcast. We'll be doing some series of events. But yeah, the premise of it is that just what I was saying earlier, there's never a time to quit. So I'm starting a podcast, and we'll also be doing some events. We're bringing on some partners to host those events. But the goal is to celebrate women that have persevered and just made it through. It's never time to quit, even when you only have $7 in the bank. So take that challenge, take that part of your life that might be difficult at the time and get through, and, don't give up on it. And so I love to hear the stories of people that are a little bit raw, are not that glamorous, when they're really sharing something that was difficult, because I believe the way things are going right now, it's so easy to look at the media or look at the cover of a magazine or look on Instagram or Twitter or Facebook or other parts of social media and just see the way people are sharing their journey, and it looks so perfect. And I think there's something so beautiful and honest about opening up and showing the parts of your journey in business or even in your life, even if it's not your business, that have been difficult, and sharing that in a really raw way to motivate people and inspire people, because you never know who might be listening to this podcast or who might be reading about something in the news or in a magazine, and they hear your story and they see that it's not perfect, right? And so you don't know who you can inspire. And maybe they're having that $7 moment, or maybe they were just fired from their dream job or didn't get the job they wanted, or something just didn't work out for them right away. Just reminding them to be patient and not to give up on it. So yeah, we're really excited to launch the podcast and bring on and celebrate the journeys of different women in business and technology and a variety of industries.
It's great.
Super thrilled.
It's great and exciting. And before we give all the plugs here, Lisa, what is your vision and dream for what you want My Social Canvas to be?
Yeah, that's a great question. It's hard to articulate it in a really concise way, but I would say, I'm ready to build this company, and, we're about to grow in a huge way. My dream is to build this into a global brand and company that is purpose-driven and that's inspiring women and girls all over the world, and also just giving back to women and girls all over the world. I would love to have college and high school women and other women involved as well, from all over, from every country, and just inspiring them and giving them a way and a platform to give back. So, I'd love for us to just continue to grow and become a household name and a brand that people know and are inspired by as well.
And now you know why Lisa Mayer is on Thrive Loud today. Lisa, do us a favor. Comes better from you. We will have all of it in the show notes, but have all the listeners know everywhere that they can find all the websites, links, and stuff for your business, for you. This is your chance to plug away.
Amazing. Yeah. Well, you can follow My Social Canvas on Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and all over social. So check out My Social Canvas. We'd love to grow our community and share our story with more people. And by sharing our story and sharing what we're doing with others in your network, you're helping us give back and impact and inspire more women and girls. And so we're so excited about that. And then you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter as Lisa Mayer, and then check out our website as well. And then check us out as well in Verizon stores. Our phone cases will be launching later this month. So we're super excited.
I'm looking forward to it. And I need a new case. So this is going to be good.
Amazing.
I'm going to have to find a great one out there. So before we head out here, Lisa Mayer, not surprisingly now after this interview, what is your all-time favorite movie?
Oh my goodness. So I knew right away what my answer was when you asked this question earlier, or when you had mentioned it. You know what my favorite movie is? The Pursuit of Happiness. So I know that you said you love this movie too. It's based on a true story. And I'm so inspired by the fact that Chris Gardner, who Will Smith plays in the movie, was actually homeless for a little bit. He lived in, I believe, a shelter, and actually lived in the bathroom at a subway station in San Francisco for a little bit. And he refused to give up. I just love that about the movie. You know, he didn't give up. And then I love to see where he's at now. In real life, Chris Gardner is a motivational speaker. He's a successful entrepreneur and businessman. And just seeing where he came from is super inspiring. So I love that movie, and I can identify it with it as well. So
it's somewhere across between the rags to riches, the Oprah Winfreys of the world, blended in with Cinderella, I guess, with all of it, in the sense that you believe in dreams and working hard for all of it. And I think it's great. And I think you have the right persona that is an inspiration to everybody. And I think it's really powerful. I hope everybody gets a chance to check all these links, but more notably, obviously, you now have gotten to meet Lisa Mayer, who is a game changer. So we're glad that we've had you on the program, and I hope you had fun today.
I had so much fun. It's such a great way to start the day. Thank you for having me.
It is truly my pleasure. And we will provide all the show notes. We'll give a shout out to Jeff Dorst, who connected us. I told him, I said I'd give him a plug one of these days. And people will say, who's Jeff Dorst? They're going to have to look him up.
Exactly. We do need to give him a shout out as well. I agree.
Absolutely. And again, thank you so much for coming on Thrive Loud.
Thank you so much, Lou. It was such an honor speaking to you and sharing my story as well.
Absolutely. And to all the Thrive Loud fans out there, keep thriving onward and upward. And remember, be brief, be bright, be gone.
You've been listening to Thrive Loud with your host, Lou Diamond. Make sure to subscribe on iTunes, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Thrive Loud. Or find us on the web at thriveloud.com.